So also, before I start the interview, I just want to thank and praise my fellow prayer warrior, Kitty and Mike Reagan. They normally are on this call line as well, but Kitty is an amazing woman. She just had well, I can say this because we've been praying for her. She had a stroke about a year ago, so it incapacitated her. But despite all the ills that she's gone through, she's always made sure that she's extended her love and her prayer to me. So she's always paying, and that's the true part of wisdom, which this gentleman's going to talk about, is when you really have the heart for someone else, even when you're the one in pain. So I have to thank graciously to Kitty and Mike, because they're the one that initiate this, what we're doing right now. And also, obviously, the great Milana, who in 2018, I was privileged to be on the stage to call to world peace, both in 2018 and 2019. So in a way, this series is a dedication to her and to her focus on global peace. So like I said, without those magical people, I won't be here and I won't be preaching what we're trying to do to make this a better world. So talking about great people, I am delighted and truly honored to have an amazing gentleman, Sajid Khan, who's very well-renowned. He's met world leaders. Like I said, if I was to list them, we're going to be here for far too long, you know, dating back to President Reagan. But so he's always seen on two camps. He's also a very, very good friend with Bill and Hillary Clinton as well. So this gentleman is, like I said, is very known. He's a very super Canadian world leader. He himself, he's very, very modest, unlike me, of course, all those that know me, but he's also a royal heritage. So this guy literally is you know, I should really be referring to him as his excellent, to be honest with you. But not only excellent in his bloodline, but he's also excellent in his wisdom, which is the topic for today, which is entitled Worldwide Wisdom, because ultimately only that will bring peace upon this earth, okay? To make the entire world fill with goodness, and that comes from wisdom. But this gentleman has developed through many years a fantastic theory for spiritual wellness that differentiate the difference between your brain and your wisdom. So I want to basically discuss this with him more. Our group, we're going to be working with him on releasing a documentary movie. So we're going to be educating the world on the great knowledge that this gentleman will deliver. So Sajid, I'm just going to start off with this interview by asking you just to give the audience worldwide a little introduction to yourself. Obviously, the world leaders and the power brokers know of your presence, but for the viewers here that are on the show, could you give a little speech about yourself, sir? Thank you very much.
Yes. You see, the thing is that when I was growing up, I was very shy, I was very nervous, and I even had panic attacks. So I was wondering what's going on with me. So I started observing my own self, and what I discovered was that I had two personalities. There was a personality projected by the mind, which was brilliant, and a personality projected by my brain, which was insane. So I realized that most people, they do not know. This is the biggest problem of the world. They do not know what is the mind. Do you know high school psychology textbooks, big textbooks you pick up and look in the index? There's no topic mind because they don't know what the mind is. So the world's biggest problem is that the world order is based on the ignorance of the mind. What do you need to make your life optimized? What do you need to make your life perfect? It is to optimize your mind. And if you don't know what is the mind, how you're going to fix it? So what I have done is that with my own experiences, I figured out that when I take my mind and with it observe my brain, I improve myself. It's like the Buddha mindfully using the mind to improve the mind. But I have improved that, and I have distinguished the fact that the mind and brain both have different problems. And so you cannot fix, like in the UN, what they talk about. They talk about, oh, we're going to change the mindset. How do you change the mindset? The mind is a fragrance of the brain. So you have to heal the brain to fix the mind. So I have developed all these ideas, and the whole thing is very clear from the Bible. In the very beginning, it says, God is the Word. He's not saying God knows the Word. That means God is wisdom. And God is saying, I made you in my own image. And the self-image, actually, this is my research, that the self-image is actually the mind, because it's the taste of the pudding is in the eating, and the taste of the mind comes from your quality of your self-image. So it's your self-image, which is your mind. And God is saying, I made you in my own self-image. We are the same. Our mind is the same. So he's saying that I am the Word. But what did man do? God says in the Bible, don't eat from the knowledge tree, because it will confuse you. And we ate from the knowledge tree. We want to know wisdom. We don't want to become wisdom. And the only simple solution is that God wants us to become wisdom.
Well, I'm very, very obviously in support of that, because all those that knows me knows that it is very important. Obviously, I came from God, similar to you, through the science, through the technology aspects of it. I discovered my God using physics and math. So the divinity, I believe, is very important. It's all interrelated. But I also want you to go to the audience. Now, I just basically said about making a documentary movie. So tell the audience what is the essence of this movie that we will be collaborating on, the core essence of this movie project.
The thing is that the biggest lesson of how to figure out wisdom comes from the Bible, from the story of Adam and Eve. You see, what happens is Adam and Eve are enjoying themselves. They have no attention on their own selves. They are living in the now. They're looking forward to meeting God in the evening, and they're enjoying their life. They're having a good time. And then enters Satan. And what does he do? He tells them, you are important. You need to know. And you have your rights and all that. All of a sudden, their attention is on themselves. And so what happens? All of a sudden, they have anger, they have fear, they have hate, they have expectations, they have miserableness, that they have no power. So all of a sudden, jealousy and hate and everything comes into their mind. So what do? We do the same thing, even worse. We tell our children, you are the best. So we create trophy self-images, and the self-image is the mind. So we create emotionally challenged minds. The solution is to create selflessness. That's all. All you need is selflessness and humility. For instance, yes.
No, obviously, this has been a long journey, just like the journey for me. It's been over 40 years. The scientific discovery before I got the divine inspiration of what the
voice speaks to you. I can see that.
So was there an inspirational moment, also a eureka moment, or was this a gradual progression that you learned? So how did this all come about? Did you see something, know something, or
yes? You see, the thing is, I thought I was weird because one time I was just standing near a temple of Durga Mata. She is the goddess of good over evil. And I saw that her hand is going like this. And I couldn't believe it. I said, no, I'm insane. What the hell is, how can a stone statue have a moving hand? And then the voice came, do you want a lottery? I said, no, I don't want a lottery. She said, do you want knowledge? I said, yes, give me knowledge. And she says, go, I give you knowledge in psychology. So I went back home and I came a few more times. It happened for over a week. The same thing happened and then it stopped. And then I start getting these ideas and I start publishing them. And the newspapers, they started putting them in the right places, like even on the editorial page, my articles started coming. And then the American Consul General in Bombay, Major General Harry Cahill, he read my ideas articles, and he called me, he says, let's go to America, because here nobody's going to listen. This is what America needs. So with him, I came, and with his approach, because of his connection, I was able to go to the Reagan White House. And I did not meet Reagan, but I met his team. I told him, look, get the best experts on education, on health, on social standards, and let's do a meeting. So in that meeting, they said, okay, we'll see what we can do. They did nothing. Then I approached Bush Sr., I approached Clinton, I approached Obama, I approached all these people, and every one of them, oh, this is very nice, I'm going to do something about it. They did not do anything. Then Obama announced a brain initiative, you can Google it, for $5 billion. And he said, oh, I'm going to do something for you, for your idea. But the reality is that he did a brain initiative for the physical research of the brain is already taking place. I said, you have to do emotional research of the brain. He says, oh, I already did it, I'm not going to change it. So I want you all to forgive me, but I actually threw my book at him. So I'm the Obama book thrower. But of course, everybody was surprised when I came home. They said, oh, wow, you never got arrested? I said, how can Obama arrest me? He's my buddy. So anyway, the bottom line is that the world order is based on the ignorance of the mind.
Yes.
And the mind actually is the mind and the brain. So it's like two cycles. There's a cycle, and one is the brain wheel and one is the mind wheel. And what happens is we keep educating the mind wheel, and the brain wheel is punctured, and nobody even thinks of healing the brain. So that is why, since ever, civilization is improving, all the infrastructure is improving, invention is improving, we are going to the moon, talking about Mars. But human nature is the same. The corruption, the abuse of children, the tribalism, the wars, everything is crazy. And what I've done is that I went to the patent office and I said, look, wisdom is a science. And I explained to them why it's a science, because it depends on the brain's emotional health. And they said, oh, are you crazy? Anything that cannot be measured cannot be a science. So I went back to the drawing board, and I went back to them with how to measure wisdom. So what happens is you measure your self-image. -2 is the dictators, the murderers, the rapists, the terrorists. -1, on which there is a lot of countries, are corrupt people and opportunists. +1 is most of the American people who are egoistic. And +2 is the guru, selfless. So I can measure wisdom, which means wisdom is a science. And what happens is, those who are here, these are very difficult to change, but -1 and +1 can be changed. Especially Americans can be changed. We don't have to be taught you are the best, like Satan told them their importance. We have to create selflessness. And I have developed all these things. For instance, you can Google how we figured out wisdom from the story of Adam and Eve. Like this, I got 3,000 published articles.
This is amazing. And I'm actually we're gonna be surely out of time, but this is a perfect vision that you are delivering to unblock the mind of the world. So it's perfect to the title.
You have to introduce
wisdom, because together,
yes,
with your high-level connection, and obviously I'll be introducing you to our OHA organization, One Humanity, One World, which was created by Andrea Wen, a most talented and creative woman, powerfully. So we will combine our resources, our network, to unblock the mind and the brain of humanity, so we can not just move America, but move China,
the whole world,
the entire world, from either -2 or -1 to at least +1, to at least +1. And if we can move them all to +2, then we will.
Not difficult, it can be done.
Create heaven here on earth. So anyway, that's a perfect ending. But I'm going to give you a little.
No, 1 minute, 1 minute. Just
to finish, sir.
Just 1 minute. So
sure.
my applications are so many. For instance, I want to do Wisdom Day. Let's do. I've been doing it, but only very few countries are doing it right now. With your team, we can do Wisdom Day. We can do Wisdom Land on the internet. Today, you know, fake land on the internet in the metaverse is selling for millions. Imagine Wisdom Day, what we can do as an internet thing. Then, you know, shy people, there's nothing out there for them. I make them so happy just by a simple thing. I explain to them that shyness is the health club of the brain. And because the brain is the one that projects the mind, it's the health club of the mind. And so I explain to them why shyness is a very powerful gift from God. That is why Einstein, Gandhi, Lincoln, Roosevelt, they were all shy, because shyness makes a much powerful brain. But also, we can have like a shy power club.
Yeah.
We can have brain power club. We can have wisdom centers. People walk in, we do a wisdom test on them, and we treat them in a way with the healing and everything, and guide them into becoming +2.
Well, that's a great way to end. So the world listening on this, you see why I said there's an absolutely amazing gentleman.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And working with this gentleman, with our collective organization, including, as I mentioned, you, Andrew Wen, the creator of OHA, yes. We can indeed do miracles here on earth.
And
okay?
Also my song, so, if you can play that next time.
So yeah, so I'm sure we'll. There's so much you have so much content, but I said we're running out of time now, so I'm sure I'll ask you to come back on stage to discover. But we will take this offline, as I mentioned to you. We have so much things regarding the Wisdom 3.0 portal, which we'll work with also with Andrea and Linda as well, and so many other things that, you know, as you know, we will be talking about. So, but we'll take that offline. So the world, you have a sample of what's coming, okay? Right. So thank you, Sajid.
Thank you for all the opportunity.
God bless you. And to the rest of the world, this is why we are not just talking the talk, but we are doing the walking as well. So God bless you all. Everyone stay safe.
God bless you.
And Sajid, I'll be in touch with you offline again. All right, take care.